Okay, once again, we are back. My name is Abdul-Rahmaan Abd-Raheem Muhammad, and I am one of the performers of the Fatherhood Manologues with the Manhood Tree. And we would like to welcome everybody. Hopefully people are coming in our live stream here from the Wadsworth and the Amistad Center for Arts and Culture. We are here and we're going to have a great performance today. We have at least 6 of our performers. We're waiting for a few more guys. Today we will be doing the Fatherhood Manologues. As some of you know, today is my father's birthday. February 10th is his birthday, so I wanted to make sure every year I want to do the Fatherhood Manologues on February the 10th in commemoration of my father's birthday. Today he would have been 78 years old. And so I just want to be able to show him that I love him, and I want to make sure that we always, like to me, doing the Fatherhood Manologues is a way of saying that fatherhood is important, and my father always was there for us as a family, and I just want to, just shout him out today. So, give him a happy birthday in the chat, and let him know that we love him and we miss him. And so, for those of you who don't know, the Fatherhood Manologues started 2 years ago. We did our first live performance at the University of St. Joseph. We had about 150 people in the house. It was a wonderful performance. And, then COVID happened. But we haven't stopped. We've been doing performances ever since. We do virtual performances. We do live performances. Our last performance was at the Artist Collective. We did a men's health event last month. And so today, I don't want to hold up too much time talking because we have such great presenters here. And I want you to hear the Fatherhood Manologues. So I want to start off by welcoming my friend Timothy Fraylon with the first Fatherhood Manologue. At your house, maybe we can have the people here. Put your hands together for Timothy Fraylon with the Fatherhood Manologue. Shout out to my dad. Let me just give the people the love. Yeah, see, this is black men showing the love live. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday to Abdul Sr. That's what's up right there. Right. That's what's up. All right, y'all. So this piece is titled Fatherhood, the Best Hood. Fatherhood, the best hood that a man can claim. Grew up without a father, but vowed never to be the same. My name's a part of my legacy. I'll never bring it shame. See, I'll be just riding alone, with my father on my mind, like you gotta be kidding. How the hell you ain't here to see your prince do his thing? Want to shed a tear, but no emotions from a king. Shout out to Dwayne Carter, aka Lil Wayne. See, I never got the recipe, the ingredients, or the blueprint for this thing called fatherhood. My initiation into this hood wasn't planned, but it was fate. Fatherhood's the best hood to be a part of. Ain't no debate. As you have now turned 18, I want to give you some more encouragement, happily introducing you into manhood and someday fatherhood. First, I'll begin with a story. At your age, I was sitting kind of like this in the middle of the Civic Center after your mom and I had received the news that she was pregnant. So many thoughts ran through my mind, and for a minute, I felt like my life was over. Little did I know, life was just beginning. See, I was now responsible for 2 lives, your mom and yours. Prior to that, I had a dream. A dream like most young boys from the hood of playing a professional sport. But as one dream started to diminish, in came another one. A dream of being the best father I could be, and already thinking that you would be a boy before we got the gender. I would put my all into being the father I needed. So your success and seeing you grow up strong and healthy became my new dream. I remember being in the hospital with your mom the entire time, make sure I was fully there for her while awaiting your arrival. Remember holding you in my arms for the first time, being so excited on what the future held for us. Fatherhood, the best hood that a man can claim. Grew up without a father, but I vowed never to be the same. Your name's a part of my legacy. You'll never bring a shame. Sharing my name, I want to make sure that you knew early that you are royalty. And that's why I went with the second instead of junior. I wanted you to know you were our prince. Just you being born gave me a purpose and understanding that life was no longer about me, but about you and family. We started a generational gift of firsts, being your first Santa Claus, your first coach, mentor, teacher, and role model. Though I made plenty of mistakes in the past, most of the decisions I've ever made, even difficult ones, have been to make sure that you are safe and enjoying your childhood. I would instill every bit of knowledge and wisdom into you that I wish I knew at your age, along with spending as much time with you as possible. From playing tag at the park, to building snowmen and wrestling in the snow, we did it all. I love our many bus adventures. Even though long, every moment with you is worth it. Even cold days, we get on the bus and travel from the north end to the south end to get you was everything for me. Seeing your face light up as I pick you up from the bus stop with snacks in hand can never be replaced. Being able to put that football and that basketball in your hand and teach you both games will forever be with me as well. To this day, I still can't believe I was part of creating you. I can't see what the future holds for your journey into manhood, but my hopes are that you will look back at this, along with other life lessons and advice I've given you, and will give to you the blueprint for when you become a father someday. Thus, extending generational gift of love and affection. And I'll always be here, whether it's be physical or spiritual, to guide you in your life. I love you, son. Fatherhood, the best hood that a man can claim. Grew up without a father, but I vowed never to be the same. Our name is part of our legacy. Will never bring us shame. Thank you.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. So Matt wanted to flip it around. Fatherhood, the best hood. We're coming up on the next performance. Next up, we have Alonzo Little. He has a letter to his daughters. I mean, fatherhood is the best hood, you know, and being a father of daughters is really something big. So let's get up Alonzo Little next up on the Fatherhood Manologues.
Okay, this is, you guys excuse me, okay. This is my Fatherhood Manologue to my girls. I have 3 girls. One is 37, one is 30, and one is 29. So I'm an older dad, I guess you would say. So this is a Fatherhood Manologue to my girls. Here we go. As I think back, you saved my life, meaning you gave me purpose and hope. I didn't have a blueprint or a model to guide me. Now I understand that my dad did the best that he thought he could. It may not have been what I thought I needed or wanted, but it was what motivated me to do my best by you. I remember when my big girl was born. It was a hot summer day in July. She started it off that night. When I first heard you cry, and you started immediately adapting to the world, I looked at you, and I had a powerful feeling I could not describe. I went home and I prayed to God for the best for you. He seemed to have told me, you do your part and I'll do mine. As you grew, you matured fast, made me accept the responsibility of being there to protect you. I went through everything you were involved in. You prepared me for what God had in store 7 years later. My baby girl was born. Now I have a little clue about this fatherhood thing. I remember patiently driving to the hospital as your mother was screaming for me to speed it up. I thought I was a professional at that point. She was in labor. We arrived on that cool September night. A few hours later, you arrived, cocoa brown, pretty, and screaming to the top of your lungs. I was so proud you were healthy, and I felt I knew what to do for you. As time went on, I realized you were so much like me. It was amazing. I'm glad you got your mom's looks, though. I went home that night and I said, same prayer to God, asking him for the best for you. And again, he seemed to have said, you do your part and I'll do mine. Then 16 years after my baby girl was born, late in the winter months, God sent me another blessing. I guess he said, I have another daughter for you, and she needs a father right now. She needs unconditional love. And since you've been so good, I'm sending you a bonus grandson as well. A real goddaughter. My daughter D. You and my little man gave me a new focus and purpose when I needed it. Not only did fatherhood to my girls save my life and give me purpose, but they are also the real blessings and treasures in my life. I realize now that fatherhood is my true legacy. Now I know the blueprint. Check my credentials, measure my outcomes. My girls are my legacy. My fatherhood monologue to my girls. Thank you.
Whoa, my bad. Oh, no. Okay, sorry about that. I was talking to Demetrius on the other side. So, we're moving along. We're very excited. We have, next up, we're going to keep the show moving. We have Jesse White with lessons for the next generation. Yeah, that's about right. All right, I'm going to pull us in. You want me to pull us in here?
That's good, that's good. You can leave it right there.
Okay. He knows what he's doing. Happy birthday, Dad.
JJ? Yes, Dad? I need you to clean your room, son. Yes, Dad. Dad? Yes, JJ? Why do I always have to clean my room? Because that's your contribution to this family, son. And if a man doesn't work, then he shouldn't eat. JJ? Yes, Dad? It's time for us to go to church. Yes, Dad. Dad? Yes, JJ? Why do we always have to go to church? Because, son, you have to understand that there's someone greater than you. Understand that he is the only one greater than you. And you have to take time to give him reverence. It is only through the knowledge of him that you understand who you are. When you understand him, you understand that you are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are the lender and not the borrower. You were created in the image of God Almighty. And because he is the creator, you are creative. Because he is king, he has given you dominion over all the earth. You dominate. You are anointed, you are blessed, and you are covered by the blood of Jesus. Dad? Yes, JJ? You think I can make it to the NBA? Well, nothing beats a failure but a try. What is that supposed to mean? It means that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that if you don't try, then you already have your answer. Dad? Yes, Jesse? I think I'm going to ask her to marry me. Are you sure? Yes, Dad. Well, understand this, that as the head of the household, everything is your responsibility. What that means is that if there's no food in the house, that's your responsibility. If she walks out on you, that's your responsibility. And one day you're going to have children, my grandchildren, and they too will be your responsibility. And there is no getting out of that until death do you part. Dad? Jesse? Yes, Dad? I'm proud of you, son. Really? Yes. You're a community leader, you're doing great work in the community, and you are now raising the next generation. Savannah? Yes, Daddy? I need you to clean your room, baby. Yes, Daddy. Daddy? Yes, Vanna? Why do I always have to clean my room? Because, baby, that's your contribution to this family. And if a woman is good with her hands, a virtuous woman is good with her hands. Sarah? Yes, Daddy? Let's get ready to go to church. Yes, Daddy. Daddy? Yes, Sarah? Why do we always have to go to church? Because you have to understand that there is someone greater than you. He is the only one greater than you. And you have to take time to give him reverence. It is only through the knowledge of him that you understand who you are. When you know who he is, you understand that you are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are the lender and not the borrower. You were created in the image of God Almighty. And because he is the creator, you are created. Because he is king, you have dominion over all the earth. You, baby, you dominate. You're anointed, you are covered, and you are covered by the blood of Jesus. Daddy? Yes, Sadie? You think I can make it to the NBA? Well, nothing beats a failure but a try. You know, I rarely get the opportunity to watch TV. But when I do, I pay special attention to the father's role in the family. Unfortunately, nowadays, the father is often relegated to the babbling buffoon that the mother bosses around. But I'm so grateful to God that that was not my story. I had a father who loved us very, very hard. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't love us so hard. But he taught us how to be tough guys and at the same time, how to be gentle men. My father, he never graduated college. As a matter of fact, he doesn't have a degree to this day. But he made sure that my brother and I between us have 5 degrees. I remember it just like it was yesterday. I go to the mailbox, pull out my diploma. I knew what it was. I ran straight upstairs to my father's room. Knocked on the door, came in. He was laying across the bed, talking on the phone, not a cell phone, a real phone, talking on the phone to his late great friend, Ronnie Bowman. And when I handed it to him, he paused, got a little choked up. And a single solitary tear ran down his chocolate brown face. My father doesn't cry, really at all. But he cries when the spirit moves him. He cried when my grandma passed, and he cried when I graduated from college. The mark of a great man, a great father, is that his sons want to emulate, no, they want to transcend his work. My father taught my brother and I how not only to survive, but to thrive as black men in the United States of America. And he is still teaching us as he transcends through ages and stages of life. He taught us how to love our wives by the way that he loves our mothers. And he taught us how to live by the way he lives his life. He is the epitome of black fatherhood. Thank you.
All right, so I want you guys to move with me. We're going to come up with our next performer, Anthony Smith. And Anthony's fatherhood, this is his second Fatherhood Manologue. So he had a different Fatherhood Manologue, but he wrote a new one. And so this is like a grand premiere of his new Fatherhood Manologue. I haven't even heard it. And you know, usually I have to watch everybody's Manologue first, but Anthony just came in here with the new joint and he's ready to rock and roll. And so with no further ado, please welcome Anthony Smith with Second Chance.
Yeah, I'll take the chair.
He'll take the chair, why not?
Thank you. I love being around the brothers from the Manhood Tree for many reasons. But one in particular, they paint pictures with words like you read about. I like to consider myself in that category as well. But there was this certain situation in life where I just couldn't figure out that perfect thing to say, and as a result, I said nothing at all. I'm grateful to be here to get my second chance to say a few words I should have said some years ago. Thinking of my childhood years and fatherhood, there's many to thank, but one stands out. This individual poured into me and nurtured me like a plant, making sure I had strong roots and a solid foundation, and cultivated the soil just right for my life to bloom. That individual would be my grandfather. Hello, You have reached 728-3391, Edward J. Smith. I can still hear that answering machine. It's kind of funny the things that stick with you. Visually, my grandfather always reminded me of Big John Thompson, coach of the Georgetown Hoyas. 6'4", dark skin, and a voice like Barry White. Extremely well-traveled and versatile. Naval man, graduate of Tuskegee Institute, one of the first black accounting auditors to work for the state of Connecticut, not to mention entrepreneur in retirement, family historian, human map quest, and encyclopedia, all rolled up in one. Coming up, my father lived 1,000 miles away, and my grandfather took a leading role in my life, educating me, coming out of his way to take me to football, basketball, baseball, practices, and games, giving me my first job, teaching me how to drive, which pretty much meant taking a lap around the U-Haul parking lot on Main Street and jumping on the highway. Picture me, 14 years old, first time behind the wheel. I'm driving 25 miles an hour on 91 South in a stretch station wagon. I'm lucky I ain't killed somebody. My grandfather sitting beside me calmly saying, "Just drive at your own speed, grandson." It was profound advice now that you look at it. Edward J. Smith was the epitome of being dedicated, hardworking, and family-oriented. We're talking weekends with the grandkids over playing Atari, trips up to the Catskill Game Farm to feed the llamas, and road trips around the country in that Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra station wagon. And this thing even had the wood grain. My cousins and I talk about those trips to this day. Those were our wonder years. And I miss my grandfather. And I'm speaking past tense because he passed in November 2008. I always knew how fortunate I was to have a grandfather who was so active in my life. And when he passed, pretty much everything I knew, he had a role in teaching me. With all that being said, when the day came for my grandfather's funeral, you know they always have that time for reflection. In that moment, 2 of his 3 grandsons stood up and told timeless stories about my Gramps' infinite knowledge and wisdom and his total disregard for the driving laws in the state of Connecticut. My cousins Justin and Andre did an incredible job. If you're doing the math, that 3rd grandson, you're looking at him. There was ample opportunity for me to reflect as well, but as I sat there in that wooden pew, like I really wanted to get up, but it felt like I had concrete sneakers on. The moment was surreal. I was just stuck. I just didn't know that perfect thing to say to honor my grandfather. And that moment always stayed with me. Until today. 14 years later, and it feels like perfect timing. That's why I'm grateful for this moment to talk about fatherhood, to capitalize on this opportunity. Not even to say what's perfect, but to just speak from the heart and finally tell the world how much Edward J. Smith means to me.
Awesome. All right. I appreciate that one, Anthony. That was a good one. You almost caught me with the tears. All right, we're gonna move on. I want to do mine with some lights, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm up next. Yeah, I'll go with the stool. Why not? No, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand up. All right. I hope the audience is having a good time. Yeah, leave me right here, just like that, right there with that background. I hope everybody's enjoying the Fatherhood Manologues. Hold on, let me get my piece of paper. I hope you guys are putting a lot of comments in the chat, and maybe you decide that you want to do a Fatherhood Manologue, so you can hit me up, send me a message, because we would love you to join us. Next month, we're going to do a conversation, a panel conversation, and and then we're gonna have some fatherhood monologues. So we're gonna keep moving. But it's my turn, and so I got mine. I got my paper just in case. But I feel like I've been practicing, so I feel pretty good about it. So here we go. Mine is entitled. What is it entitled? Oh, my biggest fan. When my kids were little, every day when I came home from work, they would run to the door to greet me. I mean, as soon as I walked in the house, they would just come running, providing me with hugs, kisses, and a cheer of, "Daddy's home, Daddy's home." I mean, I would get jumped on like a ride. One would be riding my leg as I walked like Frankenstein, and the other one would be scooped up in my arms, getting chomped at until he or she screamed. Or I would pick them up, spin them around, and then throw them on my shoulder like a bag of potatoes. Every day, consistently for years and years, I would come home to my biggest fans. I hear the cheer of, "Daddy's home, Daddy's home," and then the pitter-patter of little feet running to welcome me home with love. Genuine love. The kind of love you don't have to think about, you just know it's real. Unconditional love. You know, how your grandma makes you feel. Crazy, out of control, fandom love, like a Knicks fan after that John Starks dunk. The love was so encompassing that even my dog Brownie tried to get into it. He'd be so excited to see me that he'd almost knock me off my feet with his dog love. To be honest, over time, I downplayed all that love. I took all that love for granted. Imagine me deflating my children's loving energy because I was on the phone, not paying attention to them. Or, when they ran to me, my response was, all right, instead of, "I'm gonna get you." Or if I sarcastically said, "Okay, good to see you two guys," as if kids don't hate sarcasm like everyone else, I put them down before they got spun around, or held their hands and walked them in the house instead of letting them ride my Frankenstein legs, taking all of the excitement out of my return back to them. You know, you can't have to love. Love should always be like a hug from my grandma. When she squeezes you so tight, you wonder how she got so strong, and you feel her embrace forever. I can't recall the exact day it happened, but one day I came in the house and my children were nowhere to be found. I mean, they were in the house, but they weren't at the door waiting for me. After a while, I started having to walk around the house if I wanted to see them. My son was usually in the basement playing video games, and my daughter was up in her room doing something. When I said hello, I think my daughter gave me the peace sign. The peace sign? Nowadays, I enter the house only to my dog Brownie. He doesn't jump up and almost knock me off my feet anymore. It's more like an elevator pitch while I take off my coat and walk to my room. He's like, "My man, good to see you, big guy. How was your day? I was wondering about a walk or maybe some food. Yeah, the kids didn't give me any food and they didn't clean up the poop. Hey, you made it to your room, I see. Still not let me in your room? How about a belly rub? No? Okay, God bless you. Have a nice day." What's crazy is I was once the greatest of all time. I was the man, and my kids showed it. I mean, my kids showed it. Daddy's home, they cheered. And then in the snap of a finger, my daughter doesn't do hugs and my son is a gamer. And also, in case you all don't know, all teens are experts at sarcasm. So now I know how much the "okay, good to see you too, Dad" hurts. Listen, I know all kids grow up and find new teams to root for and new ways to show love. But if I would have known the last time was the last time, I would have cherished every step from the moment I walked in the house and they jumped on my Frankenstein legs. I would have scooped them up and chomped at their little bellies. I would have spun them a little longer and laughed with them while they still thought I was the funniest guy in the world. I will say that when my little daughter's in the mood, she can absolutely be a joy to be around, and she sings like an angel. And my son, he gives the best hugs. Not quite as tight as my grandma, but he does this rocking thing. Right now, I would do anything to hear him one last time, like when they were little. "Daddy's home, Daddy's home." But I know that's not gonna happen anymore. Maybe my dog Brownie was on to something. When love almost knocks you off your feet, sometimes it's okay to fall down. All right, so that's my man of love. Next up, today, me and Matt just hosted another show together. Matt is a great reader. I mean, the dude reads at a very high level. So please give it up for my main man, Matthew Rivera. Matt with a dream.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again, Abdul, for the opportunity to be here with you all this evening. You know, not too many others got this, but I have the exclusive Manhood Tree pin on. If you want one, make sure you reach out to Abdul to see how you can make that happen. But nonetheless, I would be sharing tonight my monologue titled Happy Father's Day, Dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad. In my 21 years of living, this is the first time that I ever get to tell you this. As I'm typing, I find myself thinking and deleting because I want this one to be perfect. I'm fitting it all into however many characters Instagram allows. But I'm questioning myself. Why now? Why do I feel the need to make up for all the I hate yous, the I don't cares, the why didn't you ever come back, and as of 1 year ago, the forgiveness? You know, I always told myself that you walking out of my life never made a difference. And quite honestly, it didn't. Because I was a kid and I had a mom who did everything in her power and then some to make sure that I would grow up into the man that I am today. However, just recently as I've been transitioning into manhood, I've realized not having you in my life has been tough. I've grown to learn that there are certain things that men can only learn from other men. It's all good though. I've outsourced those gems. Just recently, I learned that you walking out of my life has placed every single relationship with either friends, family, mentors, or even intimate in a spirit of fear. I moved through these relationships with a spirit of fear because you walked out of my life despite me being worthy. So I find myself constantly going above and beyond for others because I do so to alleviate that fear. I find myself opening the door way too soon because of you, and it only continues to put me in position to be let down. So thank you. Throughout my life, this has led to me being taken advantage of, and I still wrestle with it today. You know how difficult it is for me to receive feedback or criticism from other men? I mean, I've never said this publicly, but to this day, it either makes me feel weak inside or makes my blood boil because you were never around to do it. So I had to figure it out. You know, that's what I've always had to do, figure it out. I assume that's what you told my mother when you walked out of her life. Figure it out. It's funny, the backbone of my success is my ability to figure it out. The God I serve specializes in using one's bad for his greater good. You know, I never got to thank you for those 2 completely random times you came back into my life. Maybe you left again because you were overwhelmed. To feel the need to serve as my emotional punching bag as I jabbed and I jabbed until I got enough anger to even consider building a relationship with you. Maybe you left because you had other plans. Maybe you left because you had another family. Maybe you left because you were scared. I say that all to say, whoever you are and whoever you aren't, I forgive you, and I will not question you anymore. You're still my father, and that does not change. I recently learned that you can be angry and critical about the things that you love, so here's my first time also saying this. I love you. You will never understand the power that you have given me to share these words. Just know, if you ever come back, no, like seriously, if you ever come back, I welcome you with open arms. Why? Because I'm man enough to not walk out like you did. Thank you.
Fatherhood Manologues. These are some serious stories, people. This is not just all fun and games sometimes, you know. And so next up, we have our Hartford Poet Laureate is in the house. You know, so, I mean, I know you guys didn't know, I got connections to the Poet Laureate. My main man, Frederick Douglass Knowles, you know, so please welcome our Hartford Poet Laureate. He has a Fatherhood Manologues he's going to share with us. Thank you. Oh, man. Yo, near the line, baby. I know people, man. I know people.
We're in the building. Peace, people. Peace, Facebook fans and so forth. I was going to share the particular poem, but I'm going to share another one. I just got done writing this manuscript titled Sinking in Moonlight Alone, and there's a couple pieces that are dedicated to my father. My father passed away when I was 6 months old. I was his 9th child, and I'm 48. And so this first poem is dedicated to my father and my mother, actually. They had 9 children together, and they were very much in love, had their hard times and so forth, but they raised a family. And she remembers the day that he died, had a heart attack on the job. And they came the next day, the police officers came the next day and knocked on the door and told her that her husband had actually passed. So we go out to lunch. We used to, not as much now. And she would always say, "You remind me of Harvey, my father." And so, so this poem is for my mother. It's titled Sinking in Moonlight Alone. She searches the day my father died, digs in the ancient as if an archaeologist, uncovers a quiet eternal in her cola, no ice. A virgin moon sips her soft dawn, swirls her straw into a first kiss that fizzles into footprints fossilized on a dance floor from 1955. My father's two-step is as measured as an officer's condolence, slow twisting our screen door. She swivels her straw, exhumes his lithic heart, camel walking into the desert 6 months before my first step. Our waiter inscribes with a paternal hand. His attributes remind her of mine. My attributes remind her of Harvey, a soul as cool as an errant ocean sinking in moonlight alone. She softens the amber in my heirloom eyes, discovers the color ether tucking her son beneath the sediments of 1974 before she sips her soda. And the second and last one I'm going to do is for my father, Harvey Eugene Knowles Sr. He was in the U.S. Navy, a Korean War veteran. And so I recall the day that I went to visit his tombstone. And it took me some time to find his marker. And so this is what happened as a result. And this poem is entitled, His Last Name, Mine. I enter Cedar Grove's office and extend the slit of sunlight, peering through a cracked door, lock eyes with an old sexton, inscribing names of fallen souls. I stammer, hello, utter the silent K in my last name. He flips through an index of ancient files, brushes a layer of cumulus dust from 1974, and engraves section 35, lot E4 onto the yellow surface of a Post-it. I thank him for his time, slowly exit his office and descend down the hillside, studying each pillar in search of my father's marker. I pause in front of a pallet row of ancient stone, flap the postage over a cluster of ants to unveil the worn plaque of a Negroid sailor. His last name, mine. Clouded tears recall the legacy of an airman recruit rigging chutes for the USS Wright. A native son swaying to Coltrane in Korean cafes with cinnamon women who never choked on the plume of black smoke sewn into his skin. Debating President Truman's liberation of Yongsan that would churn 5 million souls into Korean dust. Peace, y'all.
All right, we have 2 more Fatherhood Manologues, so stay tuned with us. We're gonna move over here. I heard that there's an echo, and I don't want, I know when I was doing it, my voice was strong, so I ain't worried about that. But some of these, these young brothers gotta work on their voice, their enunciation, and so we still practicing, getting our stuff together. But next up, we have Amos Liz. Amos is gonna come over here. Is that cool? Yeah. All right, so stick with us. We got the last 2 performers, and these are really good ones. And so first, we have Amos Liz, and then we have Demetrius Chamblee, and then we're gonna get out of here. And we would have celebrated, we're gonna have a good time, but y'all heard enough about me, so Amos Liz.
Thank you, Abdul. I think I should have let Demetrius go first. I don't know how do I follow the poet, Lord. So I picked the wrong spot. But I'm gonna do my best, right? Yeah. And this piece is a tribute to my kid and my wife and my father, compare and contrast the kind of father I had and the kind of father I want to be. This piece is called Fatherhood, a Sacred Calling. I'm a father. I should say I'm a proud father of 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy. I love them very much. They are the apple of my eye. Every moment with them brings so much joy, and every moment away from them breaks my heart. I love them very, very much. I love them even when they fail to listen to me, when they fail to do their chores, when they break my stuff. I love them even when they talk me into spending money I didn't want to spend. I love these kids. My oldest daughter, she's only 12. She thinks she's a genius. I think she is, because she's beginning to challenge me in my math skills. She wants to be an architect. She wants to design skyscrapers, bridges, museums, and she also wants to build affordable housing for low-income families. I got 2 girls. My girl Emma, she wants to be a freedom fighter. In modern day Irish man. This girl can spot the slightest of injustice anywhere. And I love it when she says, Daddy, let's take it to the man. And so my daughter Amelia, she wants to be like Mommy. She wants to be a social worker. She wants to make a difference by helping 1 kid at a time. I also have a son. He's only 5 years old. I'm not sure what he wants to be yet. But one thing I know for sure, this boy loves to eat, he loves to dance, and he loves his mom. I'm not sure what the dancing thing is about, since I can't dance. I'm not sure where he get it from. I love these kids. I'm so very proud of them. And they love me too, because they say so themselves. They say they love me when I take their electronics away, when I'm visiting them, when I don't get them get the way. They say they love Dad even when Dad is not at his best. Yet, in the midst of such love, there's one question that lingers in my mind. And that is, if I were to die today, what will they say about me? In order for you to understand why that question lingers in my mind, you have to understand my own relationship with my own father. I grew up in a very Christian family. And ever since I can remember, my father has been a preacher. Needless to say, church was priority number one in our house. My father loved the church. He spent so much time there, and the people loved him. He spent so much time there, sometimes I wonder, does he love them more than he loves us? There will be time I catch people talking about my father, and I wonder, are we talking about the same guy? The preacher was funny, charismatic, outspoken, uplifting. That's a guy I rarely get to see at home. Looking back, I think I get involved in church because I wanted to be close to him. I wanted to spend time with him. My father never attended any of my soccer games, basketball game or plays. Church came before everything else. I know more about the preacher than I do about the father. The preacher I know, I can talk about the preacher for hours. I know his favorite scriptures, I know his thinking, I know what he likes and don't like. The preacher I know well, but not so much the father. The father was a serious guy, he meant a few words. And growing up, I can't recall him ever telling me that he loves me. But the funny thing is, 6 years ago, I too became a preacher. And I'm also a therapist. That means I keep long hours, just like my father did. And this scares me. My father is a great man. He made many sacrifices for us. He's the hardest working man I know. But I want to be a different kind of father. But I'm afraid I might be like my father. I want to be a different kind of father. I want my kid to know more about the father than they know about the preacher or the therapist. My father believed that he had a sacred calling to serve the church in the community, and he was good at it. I too believe that I have a sacred calling. Being a father is a sacred calling. God has favored me and blessed me with 4 kids, and they are priority number 1. It is my sacred calling to make sure I'm a good father, to love them, to make sure they are safe, and help them to attain their full potential. I know that there's no perfect father, but every day on this earth, I'm committed to working at the art of being a great father. So if I were to die today, if my kid were to talk about me, let them say, my daddy was a good father. His favorite color is blue, and he loved ice cream. Let them say, my daddy played soccer and listened to gospel music. Let them say, my daddy came to our games and coached our soccer team. He joined our taekwondo class. Yeah, I know he wasn't good at it, but he tried. I guess he wanted to be with us. If they were to talk about me, let them say, my daddy came to our plays and took us to the library each Saturday. My daddy played Legos with us and we'll get dressed up for our tea parties and we'll let us paint his nail. Let them say, my daddy washed our hair, but he wasn't very good at braiding our hair. Let them say, my daddy will read us bedtime stories and teach us how to say please and thank you. Let them say, my daddy worries about being there for us, but he was there more than he can ever imagine. If they were to talk about me, let them say, my daddy was there, and he was a good dad. Let them say, my daddy was there and did his best. Let them say, my daddy was a cool dad. Let them say, my daddy, how love helping us. Let them say, we love our daddy because he loved our mom. And by the way, our daddy was a preacher and a therapist too.
All right. Yes. Okay. Next up. Demetrius, let me see what the best lighting is on here. You know, I want to get you right.
To your right.
Oh, he's light skinned? Oh, he's Here we go. Next up, we have Demetrius Chamberlain. This is a new Fatherhood Manologue. This is the first time he's debuting it, and I think it's an extension to his last one, so you might want to check out his last one, but this one is powerful stuff. Please put your hands together for Demetrius Chamberlain.
so this is an extension to my first one. I'm always talking with fathers in the community about persevering. You know, it's tough the way society sometimes can look at dads, DCF, society, the court system. So I'm always talking to fathers about persevering, keep going, and you're in it for the long haul, and the fruits of the labor that comes after that. So I got two professionals that I always reach out to. If I'm writing anything, there's two people I got to reach out to. Abdul is one, so I connected with him last night, and I said, I need your stamp on it. He said, it's good, it's ready to go. The second one is Malik Champagne, so shout out to Malik. He couldn't be here today, but that's another one of my close brothers, so I got to confirm with as well. So here we go. Oh, the beautiful stories I hear of fathers with their daughters. Daddy's girl, dad. Those are the stories I used to wish me and my daughter had. I tried really hard, but I really couldn't find a connection because unfortunately, like many other children, my daughter was used as a weapon. Our bond is tight now. You can tell by the pictures, but there were times when I questioned and I asked myself why I didn't really miss her. I know that sounds harsh, but hold on. How can that love grow off of 1 or 2 visits every other week? That's really no time for building. Study shows fathers love surges as they spend time building with their children. It's tough to admit, but I really kind of didn't want to get too close to something that could be taken away. It hurt that a court order mandated it was her time to go when she wanted to stay. In this country, dads are considered a second-class parent. That's a fact. But see, those are not my words. Judge Judy said that. My daughter is an introvert like me. She's a great detective, sort of like a secret spy. So be careful what you say. She'll catch you if you lie. When I'm tired, I tell her, Daddy is just going to go and rest his eyes. She looks at me and says, yeah, right, Dad. Good night, Dad, and gives me the greatest smile. Here's a few things she doesn't know, but she'll find out now. When she's not with me, I worry. I rest, but I never sleep. When she made the honor roll for the first time, I dropped a few tears. And when she told me she wants to make a career out of taking care of others, I think that's a brilliant idea. Now, today, I don't wish for stories that me and my daughter had, because when they asked her who did she feel most comfortable talking to, she lit up and said, my dad. Oh, the two stories I hear of fathers with their daughters. Daddy's girl, dad. Whoo, that's the stories that I have. All because I kept fighting for something at her age, today, I didn't have. Thank you.
Right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back. I want y'all to come up here. We're gonna wrap up together. Instead of just me, we all come up. You know, everybody in here. Come on, Kelly, can you get over here?
Yo, man, I'm broke up, baby.
Come on, Kelly.
You can move.
Come on,
I'm
brother.
broke up, baby. I ain't got no food. I'm broke up, baby.
You here with it. You got your mask on. Put your mask on. Everybody else a little bit. Yeah. Is that what? Me? There you go.
You ain't got everybody in there, bro.
Oh, we got a mask up?
I lost my mask.
We got a mask up?
I'm broke up, man.
I'm a black superhero. My superpower? Playing with my kids for more than an hour. I cook breakfast, pack lunch, change diapers, but not that much. Help with homework, watch them up, read them stories, and show them love. I attend PTCs, watch My Little Pony DVDs, RSVP to tea parties. I proudly wear a shirt that reads D-A-D. I work That's right, I have a job, and I'm married and in love with my wife. I dedicated my life to doing what's right. I save the world every day by being a role model to my son. But I know he's not the only one who's watching. So I role model to sons whose fathers neglect to teach. Son, this is how you set. And this is how you shine. If they only knew the value of time and what a little time could do, they could probably say, I'm a black superhero too. This has been the Fatherhood Manologues from the Wadsworth Atheneum, the Amistad Center. Yo, check this out. We're going to do more of this. We appreciate you guys watching, and peace, and never stop dreaming. We're out.
Yeah. And that's the end.